Namaste. Welcome to our internal flight series. Today we are going to take you to a mystical place where legends meet reality. Before entering to the topic, let us know in the comment section what you think the term internal flight refers to. Here we talk about the rise of consciousness. Our consciousness is most often linked with the surrounding that we live in. Geographical placement is rarely a matter of chance. In Eastern metaphysics, it is a physical manifestation of alignment, a coordinate explicitly engineered by the universe to elevate the consciousness of the jiva, the individual soul. To live upon the soil of the Kathmandu Valley is not an accident of birth or travel. It is the structural culmination of prarabdha, the ripening of your past life actions, and Vrinanubandhana, the karmic debts. The valley operates as a highly calibrated self-contained ecosystem. It is engineered specifically to help the soul burn away its karmic burden, purify itself, and accelerate its journey toward the ultimate truth. But beneath the modern capital lies an even deeper, darker secret. This valley is the last unbroken repository of the subcontinent's most extreme, forbidden, and forgotten spiritual paths.
Captain, they are gaining on us.
Steady as she goes.
Long before human civilization arrived, the physical structure of Kathmandu was mapped with exact cosmic intent. Geologically, the valley forms an enclosed high-altitude basin cradled by a distinct perimeter of four mountain walls. In mystical traditions, this unique formation is recognized as a massive kunda, the consecrated bowl designed to concentrate and preserve spiritual vibrations from the outside world. What makes Kathmandu truly mystical is how its profound creation legends directly mirror proven scientific facts while hinting at hidden dimensions beneath the soil. Ancient Buddhist texts like the Swayambhu Purana state that this entire bowl was once a massive deep lake called Nagdaha, inhabited by powerful serpent deities. The legend details how the lake was drained by a single sword cut through the southern hills of Chobar, creating a dry cradle for human life. Modern geological science completely confirms this layout. Empirical studies of the valley's deep clay layers, popularly known as Kalimati, proved that the entire Kathmandu Valley was indeed a massive prehistoric lake bed that drained rapidly during a cataclysmic seismic event that ruptured the Chobar Gorge. 8. Traditional lore whispers that these ancient serpentine energies never truly left the valley, they simply retreated into the earth. Local esoteric traditions firmly assert that directly beneath the root of the sacred Pasupati Lingam lies a primordial pathway plunging straight into Patala, the subterranean realm of the Naga Devatas. While modern observers might dismiss this as mere hearsay, this belief is anchored in a profound combination of sacred architecture and hidden physical realities. Textually, the main sanctum is guarded by the adjacent temple of Basukinath, the king of serpents whom devotees must worship first, symbolizing that the temple's spiritual authority is rooted in the underworld. Structurally, the Pasupati complex sits upon a network of natural limestone fissures, underground water channels, and sacred multi-layered foundational vaults that have been sealed from public view for centuries. Therefore, the pathway to Patala is not just a myth, it is a sophisticated architectural logic. The Pasupati Lingam stands as a deliberate metaphysical seal anchoring the surface world directly into the primordial subterranean currents of the valley. But this subterranean world does not exist in isolation. It is intimately bound to the surface through a single sacred artery, the Bagmati River. To truly understand how this landscape manages the cycle of life, death, and the worlds below, we must trace this holy river back to its pristine upper stretches. As the prehistoric lake waters originally receded, certain elevated coordinates along the early path of the Bagmati became permanent cosmic portals, acting as the spiritual headers for the valley below. If you journey just a few kilometers north, you reach the ancient sanctuary of Gokarna. It is here that the 11th century Sanskrit masterpiece, the Katha Sarita Sagara, explicitly places the legendary story of Jimutabahana, the compassionate prince who offered his own flesh on a sacrificial rock to save the Naga serpent race from the wrath of Garuda. Jimutabahan's myth is fundamentally a confrontation with mortality and sacrifice, and it is no coincidence that since time immemorial, Gokarna has been celebrated as Uttar Gaya, the absolute sovereign realm of ancestral Pitri worship. Here, the boundary between the living and the dead thins. By offering Tarpana and Pindadana at Gokarna, the Jiva directly interacts with the ancestral timeline, using the memory of ancient sacrifices to liberate the souls of the departed. The true spiritual utility of Kathmandu lies directly in its physical infrastructure. The ancient layouts of the valley's cities were not built at random, they were meticulously mapped out according to strict Vastu Shastra and Tantric mandalas, transforming the entire valley into a functioning spiritual grid. The historical rulers approached governance as an act of collective elevation, translating deep spiritual architecture into physical reality to anchor divine forces permanently into the soil. The channels left behind by the ancient lakes draining established permanent natural gateways. The historic Nakas and Bhanjangs, mountain passes such as Nagdunga, Sanga, Mudku, and Tharping operated as physical and energetic valves for millennia. These topographic barriers provided a form of natural monastic fortification, keeping external empires out and allowing the world's most radical spiritual traditions to survive completely untouched. Nowhere is this truer than in the sacred woods of Mrigasthali and the smoke-choked valleys of Pasupatinatha. This landscape is the beating heart of the oldest recorded ascetic sects of Saivism and the ultimate laboratory for the subcontinent's most radical hidden rituals. For thousands of years, the cremation grounds along the Bagmati River were not just places of mourning. To the ancient mystics, the burning ghats were a powerful, intense crossroads where the boundary between life and death completely dissolved. Kathmandu was never an isolated pocket. It was the ultimate hidden sanctuary for a massive sacred network of esoteric lineages that spanned the entire subcontinent. Here, various streams of ancient Saivism converged into a single roaring current. From the snowy peaks of the north came the mysterious yogis of Kashmir's Trika tradition. Across different eras, the intense, uncompromising Pasupas left their unmistakable footprint here, alongside the fierce, shadow-dwelling Kapalikas and Aghoris who traveled from across India to seek the power of this land. In the dead of night, beneath the canopy of Mrigasthali and right beside the crackling fires of the burning ghats, these different sacred lineages met. Masters from Kashmir, intense ascetics from across the plains, and local tantrics sat side by side in the shadows. They chanted ancient root mantras, smeared themselves in sacred ash, and used the raw, heavy energy of the cremation grounds to push their minds to absolute liberation. Today, if you look across the modern subcontinent, this ancient, mysterious universe has almost completely vanished. The great lineages of Kashmir are gone. The radical Pasupas and the authentic Aghoris are hovering on the absolute brink of total extinction. Their fires have gone cold across the rest of the world, but the smoke of their ancient rituals still clings to the stones of Pasupatinatha. Its last embers are guarded right here. When these proven geological foundations, geometric architectures, and historic individuals are viewed as an integrated whole, the ultimate goal of the Kathmandu Valley reveals itself. The valley operates as a highly calibrated, self-contained ecosystem engineered specifically to help the Jiva walk toward the ultimate, purifying their soul and lifting their level of consciousness. For a soul bound to the will of repetitive earthly existence, moving from dense material ignorance to spiritual realization requires immense energetic friction and high vibrational sanctuary. Kathmandu provides both. The temples, the river ghats of Pashupatinath, the ancient ancestral waters of Gokarna, the stone and brick alleyways of Bhaktapur, and the expansive eyes of Swayambhunatha are not inert monuments. They are cosmic resonators. Because the valley was naturally sealed by its nakas and unintentionally mapped using sacred geometry, the ambient spiritual frequency here remains exceptionally dense. When a jiva interacts with this landscape, whether by spinning a prayer wheel, walking a brick alleyway, or sitting silently by the flowing waters, their subtle energetic body is systematically forced into alignment with the higher frequencies of the land. The environment acts as an external catalyst, disrupting the ego's stagnant patterns, accelerating the clearing of karmic blockages, and expanding individual awareness. To live in Kathmandu or to even be drawn to its stories is to be a deliberate participant in a multi generational cosmic ritual. It is a profound verification that your soul's personal ledger has earned the right to step into a preserved ancient sanctuary. You are here to fulfill an ancient promise, to pay a sacred debt of devotion, and to step onto a path of accelerated evolution that was explicitly cleared for you by the yogis, the kings, the gods of the past to attain the ultimate truth. How lucky are we to belong to Kathmandu, and how beautiful it is that Kathmandu belongs to us. Are you from Kathmandu or have you ever visited this sacred place? If yes, please comment. If not, please visit the most wonderful city nestled in the center of Nepal, the land of Mahachinnachara. How do you feel about today's video? Please like, comment and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Om Namah Shivaya. Namo Buddhaya.